Welcome. Good evening. If you have been following along on this channel, you'll know that I am usually reading chapter by chapter out of the New American Standard Bible, and occasionally I'll read out of the Picture Bible, which is along the same lines as the New American Standard Bible. It's just obviously not quoting it word for word, and it has pictures to look at. So, last week we read through the Picture Bible to kind of catch up where we are in the New American Standard Bible. And we'll do the same this week and next week. So last week, in the Picture Bible, we left off right here on this page. So we'll just continue our readings in the Picture Bible with the scheming brother from Genesis 25, 9 through 33. So let's begin. The whole tribe mourns the death of its great leader, Abraham. Throughout the camp, there is a stir of uneasiness. Behind Isaac's back, men whisper, "Will Ishmael come?" One day, a great cloud of dust rises in the distance. It's Ishmael with a band of riders. Breathlessly, the whole camp looks out as Isaac goes out to meet his brother. "Ishmael, my brother." That same day, the tribe of Abraham journeys to the burial cave of Machpelah to place the body of its great chieftain beside his wife, Sarah. But in the midst of their grief, the people anxiously watch Ishmael. But Ishmael, like Isaac, has known the loving care of God. The older brother has no thoughts of revenge. "Is it well with you and your people, Ishmael? I have 12 sons. My tribe is powerful. The sons of Abraham will live in peace, my brother." Time and again, God had tested Abraham's faith, and by faith, Abraham had obeyed time and again, too. God had promised to make Abraham the founder of great nations, and through his sons, the promise was fulfilled. Under Isaac's peaceful leadership, the tribe continues to grow. The people are loyal, even when Isaac moves them from place to place to avoid war with neighboring tribes over water holes that are rightfully his. But Isaac fails to see the conflict between his own sons. Which one will rule our tribe after Isaac? Esau, it is his birthright, because he was born first. When Esau returns with food, Isaac praises him. Esau is a mighty hunter. My time will come, and soon. Jacob bides his time. One morning, during a hot spell, Esau sets out for a hunting trip. This is the chance Jacob has been waiting for. Game will be at the water hole miles away. He'll be tired and hungry after the long day's hunt. I'll be ready for him. Towards sundown, Jacob waits for his brother outside the camp. Here he comes, and without any game. Camp with its food is only a short distance away, but Esau is so hungry he cannot wait. I'm starved. Give me some of the stew. Will you trade your birthright for it? Cry of revenge from Genesis 25:32 through 34, 26, and 27, 1 through 41. Give you the right to rule our tribe someday? Sure, you can have it. Here is the soup. Now swear that the birthright is mine. I swear the birthright is yours. Now let me sit down and eat. Here, eat all you want. Esau's birthright is mine. Someday I will inherit a double portion of my father's wealth. I will rule the tribe of my father. But Jacob has a long time to wait. His father is still strong and powerful. When the pastures dry up, the tribe moves to better grasslands near Gerar. There he digs wells, but gives them up rather than fight with other shepherds who claim them. In time, the king of Gerar recognizes the strength and goodness of Isaac, who sacrifices his own rights to keep wars from starting. So the king comes to Isaac and asks that the two chieftains promise always to be friends. Before an altar to God, they pledge their friendship, and so Isaac wins a greater victory by peace than by fighting. Peace-loving Isaac is not aware of the jealous plot that is building up in his own family. Find my son Esau. Tell him that I must see him. Isaac has grown old. His eyesight is failing. Now he decides it is time to give his eldest son the blessing, which will include ruling the tribe. You called me, Father? Yes, Esau. I am old and tired, and I don't know how soon I shall die. Bring me some choice venison, and I will give you the blessing that seals your birthright. The news Rebecca overhears sends her running through the camp. Find Jacob. Tell him to come to his mother's tent at once. Hurry. Listen, Jacob. Your father is getting ready to give Esau the blessing. You must get that blessing, or the birthright you got from Esau means nothing. But what can I do? Before you and your brother were born, the Lord spoke to me and said, "The elder shall serve the younger. But Esau will serve you only if you are the chief of the tribe. My skin is smooth, but Esau is hairy. Father will touch me and know I am not Esau. What can we do?" I have thought of that too. Here, put on Esau's robe. These skins on your arms and neck will make you feel like Esau. But what if? Do you want the birthright? Then do as I tell you. If the plan fails, I will take the blame. You are right, Mother. Give me the food. A short time later, Jacob enters his father's tent. Father, I have brought the meat you wanted. Eat and give me your blessing. Have you found the food so quickly, my son? The Lord helped me. Ah, yes, the Lord helps those who obey. Come near me that I may make sure you are my eldest son before I give the blessing. Strange. The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are Esau's. Are you truly my son, Esau? I am. The lies he has told weigh heavily on Jacob's mind. He turns away while his father eats of the blessing feast. If Jacob is tempted to tell the truth, he gives up all thought of it when his father asks him to kneel before him. God, give you the fatness of the earth. Let people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brothers. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be everyone who blesses you. No sooner is the blessing given than Jacob rushes out of his father's tent. Mother, the blessing is mine, but what will Esau say? No matter what Esau says, the blessing is yours. Not even your father can take it back now. But while Jacob and his mother are rejoicing, Esau returns. Esau prepares the meat and takes a large tray of it to his father. "My father, eat the food I have brought you and bless me." "Who are you?" "Who am I? Why, I am your son, your firstborn son, Esau. You told me to bring you this venison so that you could give me your blessing. I have been deceived. I have given the blessing to another. Oh, Father, bless me also. Please bless me. I can't. Your brother has taken your blessing." "But, Father, have you no other blessing for me?" "Only this, my son. By thy sword shalt thou live and serve thy brother. But the time will come when you will break his yoke from your neck." Trembling with rage, Esau leaves his father's tent. "I'll kill Jacob for this." A New Start, from Genesis 27:42 through 46, 28, and 29, 1 through 25. When Esau's threat to kill Jacob ringing in their ears, the servant girl runs to Rebekah's tent. "Esau is going to kill Jacob." "Esau's upset. Tell no one what you have heard. Find Jacob and tell him to come to me at once." "You must go away until your brother's anger cools. Go to my brother Laban in Haran. I will send for you when it is safe to return." "What will I tell my father?" Once again, Rebekah paves the way for her favorite son. "Isaac, Esau's wives, are a great trouble to me. Life will not be worth living for me if Jacob marries a woman of this country. If only he can marry a girl from my people. Remember how your father's servant found me at my father's house in Haran and brought me to you." Isaac's thoughts go back over the years to the day he first saw Rebekah. He also knows there will be trouble between his sons. He sends for Jacob. Ashamed but frightened by Esau's anger, Jacob comes to his father. "Go to thy mother's brother Laban and find a wife from among his family. God bless you, my son." A few hours later, at the edge of camp. "Goodbye, my son. I'll send word when it is safe to return." "My father is old. I may never see him again. Esau wants to kill me. Oh, mother, you are the only one I will be able to come back to." One punishment for their deceit is that Rebekah and Jacob never see each other again. Traveling farther and farther from his family and friends, Jacob is tortured by loneliness. He especially misses his mother, who has always protected and advised him. He is haunted by the memory of how he tricked his father and brother. As night approaches, "It's getting dark. I'll have to stop here tonight." Jacob soon falls asleep, and he dreams of a shining ladder reaching up to heaven. On the ladder are angels going up and down as if bringing help from God, and Jacob hears God speak to him, promising to take care of him and bring him safely home again. The next morning, Jacob awakens, still awed by the dream he had. Surely God is in this place, and this is the gate of heaven. Jacob realizes the wrong he has done, but he knows that God will help him if he obeys him. Quickly he turns a stone on end for an altar and worships God. He calls the place Bethel, which means a house of God. If God will go with me, I'll be God's man. Jacob goes on his way, a stronger, nobler young man, so he is eager to put behind him the dishonesty of his past and give evidence of God's love and care. Shepherds around a well. Maybe they can help me find my uncle Laban. Can you direct me to the chieftain Laban? Laban, why yes, that flock of sheep is his. That is his daughter Rachel with them. What a beautiful girl. Quickly he rolls the stone from the well and helps Rachel water the sheep. When he tells who he is, she runs to tell her father. That night, Laban holds a feast for his nephew Jacob. Leah, the elder daughter, serves the food, while Rachel listens to Jacob as he tells of his home and long journey to Haran. A month later, Laban makes a bargain with Jacob. What kind of wages do you want to work for me? I love Rachel. I will serve you 7 years if I can marry her. Laban agrees for 7 years. Jacob takes care of Laban's flocks, and because he loves Rachel, the years seem but a few swift days. Then after 7 years, Jacob claims his bride. I have worked 7 years for you, Laban. Now give me Rachel for my wife. You have served me well, Jacob. I'll arrange the wedding feast at once. There is much rejoicing, and at the end of the wedding feast, Laban brings his daughter to Jacob. Here is your bride, Jacob. Rachel, my dear, I have waited 7 years for this moment. But too late, Jacob discovers that he has been tricked. You gave me Leah, not Rachel, for my wife. Bargain in the desert, from Genesis 29:26 through 32:6. Don't blame me. Leah is my oldest daughter, and she must be married before Rachel. It's the custom of our people. But Rachel is the one I love. I worked 7 years for her. Work for me another 7 years, and you can marry her next week. For Rachel, I'll do it. I was tricked, Rachel. I love you, and I'll work 7 more years if you will marry me. I do love you, Jacob, and I'll marry you. So Jacob marries Rachel and begins his second 7 years of work for Laban. Under Jacob's care, the flocks continue to increase. At the end of the 7 years, Jacob threatens to leave, but Laban makes another bargain. Jacob can have all of the speckled or spotted animals. So Jacob stays, and in a few years his flocks outnumber Laban. Laban becomes angry. One day Jacob calls his wives to him. I can see that trouble is rising in the tribe. It is better if we leave while your father is away. Help me pack, and we will go at once. The camel train is quickly packed. The flocks herded together. Soon the caravan is on its way. Laban may follow. Keep watch and tell me if you see him coming. As they travel, Jacob guards the camel on which his beloved Rachel and her only son Joseph are riding. Leah and Jacob's other 10 sons watch with jealous eyes. Without realizing it, Jacob is sowing seeds of trouble for the son he loves the best. Several days after leaving Laban. Look, riders. Laban and his men. Quick, tell Jacob. Jacob is ready when his father-in-law arrives. Jacob, why did you leave without giving me a chance to say goodbye? I was afraid you might have kept your daughters from going. I have enough men so I could take revenge on you, but the God of your fathers has told me not to harm you. So Laban and Jacob set up a heap of stones as a marker and make an agreement never to harm each other. The Lord watch between me and thee when we are absent from one another. The next morning, Laban rides away. Eagerly, Jacob continues his journey home. On the way, he has a wonderful vision. An army of angels, the hosts of God, are camped beside me. He is comforted by the angels, but as he nears his home country, he begins to worry about his brother Esau, who once planned to murder him. Right ahead, search out Esau. I'll tell him I am returning home with my family and flocks. Tell him I hope he will forgive me. Jacob waits anxiously for the riders to come back. He remembers the time when he lied to his father and stole his brother's blessing when Esau threatened to kill him. Finally, the scouts return. We saw Esau. He's coming to meet you with 400 men. Journey to Hebron from Genesis 32, 7 through 33, 35, 1 through 20. Jacob is frightened, but he is also shrewd. He divides his caravan into 2 sections and sends servants ahead with presents for Esau. If Esau attacks one group, the other can escape. That night Jacob prays, confessing his sins, admitting his fear, and asking God's help, but still he cannot sleep. My family would be safer on the other side of the river. So in the middle of the night, he moves his family. You will be safer on the other side, Rachel. I wish you would stay with us. But Jacob needs to be alone. And later that night, as he prays, he feels himself wrestling with a mysterious stranger. It is a fierce struggle, but Jacob does not give up until the stranger blesses him. Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God. The next morning, Jacob finds himself lame from wrestling with the angel, but Jacob is happy, for he knows his evil nature has been conquered, and that he has been blessed by God. Jacob goes confidently to meet his brother. Jacob, my brother, I am happy to see you again. Esau, how glad I am. You do not hate me anymore. Proudly Jacob presents his family. And this is my wife Rachel and my son Joseph. It is good to see my brother's family. God has blessed you much. After feasting together, the brothers say goodbye. Jacob heads towards his father's home in Hebron. Farewell, and greet my father for me. I will tell him all is well with you. Goodbye, and God bless you, Esau. Sometime later, on the way, Jacob stops at Bethel. This stone, Rachel, marks the place where I saw angels coming to me from heaven, and where God promised to take care of me. He has, Rachel, more than I deserve. God has been good to us, Jacob, and I pray that he will take care of our son Joseph and the child who is soon to be born. Farther along on the journey, not far from Bethlehem, Rachel's child is born. It's a boy, but oh my master, your wife Rachel is dead. Jacob buries his beloved wife Rachel. Then he and his family continue sadly on their journey, stopping now and then to rest and feed the flocks. As they travel on, Jacob wonders, Rachel and my mother are dead. Will I get to my father while he is still alive? So that is going to conclude our readings for this week. Next week we'll pick up right here and read till about Genesis 44, which is where we left off in the New American Standard Bible. I hope you've enjoyed the picture Bible last week and now this week. I think it's kind of helpful for me specifically, just because I'm kind of a visual person. I enjoy seeing the pictures. Please let me know if you have any prayer requests or praises that you'd like to share. And I will see you next week.